Correcting an error. How do you know if you've made an error in your work, and how do I find it? The first thing you're going to notice is that they will either have a cross where it shouldn't be, or maybe you should have put a cross where you didn't. And that is generally what we look for errors. If you will look closely right here in the work, I have put an error in there so that we can show you how to correct that error. And we're doing the linen stitch right now, and so I should not have that cross right there in my work. Sometimes that will happen as you are moving the bobbins back and forth, and one will just actually twist or cross when it shouldn't do that. So in order to correct that, we are going to back our work up. So instead of doing a cross, twist, and a cross for a linen, which we are currently working on, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to start with a twist, and then a cross, and then a twist. Now here I have a twist because I was going into a border stitch, which was correct. So we need to back up just a couple of rows. I'm going to set my crochet hook right there to show us how far we need to back up. So we're going to just do the opposite movements of what we did before. After you've done a row or two and you're straightening the tension on your bobbins, just take a second and look to see whether or not everything is lined up the way it should be. And that will save you a lot of grief when it comes to unpicking or undoing your work. You don't want to have to go back too far. Maybe to some of you that won't be anything critical, and you know, it's your piece. You can do what you want to do. If you don't want to back up and correct it, that's fine. But I think in the long run, you will be happier with your work and have more joy in making the lace when you know that you have done it correctly. So it'll take just a couple of minutes here. There are some errors that will be much more difficult to correct. We're not going to worry about them until we get into some more difficult pieces, and then we will discuss how to correct those errors. And you might even run across something once in a while that actually cannot be corrected. Okay, we're just about where we need to be. Remove the pins. And we are going to twist that outer one. Okay, I'm going to ask to zoom close for just a second, because this is where our error actually occurred. And as they're coming closer, you can see right here in this worker pair, you can see that cross in the work. So I only have to undo just this one stitch, and then I'm going to take that cross out of my worker pair. Now we're going to go ahead and move forward with our 3 movements. This worker pair is twisted as I go into a border stitch. Now that wasn't too bad, and it makes it so much easier to correct an error if you can catch it within just a couple of rows of where it happens. And sometimes they're a little bit difficult to see, but take a second and correct it if you so desire, because you'll be so much happier with your work. Okay.